For my camp kitchen, I have gone with the MSR Windburner 1 litre. I took this to Aconcagua, which was the reason I bought it. Because of the wind, I wanted something that was going to perform well when at high altitude. This is a great cooker. However, there are plus points and there are negative points. Plus points being, it is a good size and it's not too heavy, especially that you can reliably boil up about 600 milliliters of water. It's great for if you're trying to do things like melting snow because it's got a lot more capacity than others. It's really clever design. The stove comes out from inside. It has plastic bits at the bottom, so if your stove is still, your inside is still wet, it doesn't affect any of the workings, which is a problem I've had in the past. This just screws nicely onto the gas canister, like so. Voila. This has a cup on the bottom, and that then sits perfectly on top of here. The side thing, actually really good. Rather than having anything too small and fiddly, this allows you to have a little bit of room to like engineer, especially if occasionally your water boils over, which has happened a few times to me. The cup on the bottom, for me, is a genius addition because you can fit an instant noodle in here exactly. You can fit porridge in here easily, so you don't need to bring a bowl with you. You just use this. So that cuts down on space when you're packing. The top, which works brilliantly on here when you're cooking, on here when you're cooking your food, and if you want to protect the bottom of this, then it sits nicely like that. Negative sides, I have found that while the lid is great, it's sometimes difficult to actually keep on the top. When you're packing, the cup bit sometimes gets pushed a bit too far and actually you can't take it off. And my fellow trail hiker was using a jet boil. Another great stove. It has a couple of advantages. The main one being, over the time we spent on the trail, his gas lasted a lot longer than mine. This does use gas. And when you're doing multi-day long distance trekking, gas conservation is quite important. So that's something to bear in mind. However, the benefit of the bowl and the lid and all this kind of stuff means I actually would probably stick with the MSR. I just bring an extra small gas with me and put that inside, which fits perfectly. I then have a titanium mug from Lifeventures and a Light My Fire titanium spork. This is great. There are a couple of things I would probably add if you were looking for this is, if you have a longer handle, if you're using kind of dehydrated food in packets, this is quite small, your hands get all dirty. If you have a longer handle, that might just work a bit easier. Also, there's no hole or anything you can clip to it, so this is basically, you just have to find somewhere to keep it. There's no way of fastening it. Small thing, but when you're trekking and you want to know where everything is at all times, that is really important. The cup is great, clips onto the side of my backpack, and keeps drinks surprisingly hot for a very long time, which is great when you're sitting on a quiet evening enjoying a cup of tea. So this is my camp kitchen.